This weekend, Ryan's in the forest, Andy's in the dark, and we pay for our sins with the N64. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 210. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Andy, how have you been doing? What you been up to?
Doing pretty well, I guess. Just doing the summary things, I guess, like staying indoors and playing video games.
Well, I mean, when it rains like 5 days a week, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. Yeah. My lawn, I managed to get the front lawn mowed like in a 2-week span, but couldn't find a window to get to the back. And I got that shitty little cheap electric mower now. Holy shit, that was like a 2.5 hour ordeal. I was like literally having to mow like 3-inch strips at a time just to like hopefully get through that thing. Not ideal.
Yeah, this week we mowed everything, and I have a rider on one side, but we have a little electric one too, or a battery operated one.
Yeah,
push more for the smaller stuff, and then like I did a bunch of mowing, came back, and then Amanda's like, battery's dead, and I looked around at what she did, and she, like, that's all you got out of it? And she's like, you listen here, that little patch there took like half hour because it was so heavy to get through.
They do well if you keep up and don't have like moisture, but like, yeah, you get a few inches too long. And I've noticed with those things, like the biggest problem is like they just don't have the suction, so it's like everything just gums up under them too, and I always have to like flip it over and like scoop shit out. I mean, it's still great for most of the time, but when you have a summer like we've had, it's just less than ideal.
Yeah, the grass cannot be like wet at all, otherwise it just does not work.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was trying to get it all done because we've been looking at some houses, and we're gonna have the realtor over to like see what we could get for ours, and it's like, I can't have like 1.5 long grass in the backyard. So I think it was 2.5 hours on my Monday morning. I had Monday off doing that, so lots of fun. Go look at a few more houses tomorrow too. I think my wife is very set on the idea of moving. I don't know. I don't really have the hard time now.
It's kind of, once you go over that edge, it's pretty hard to come back, I think.
Yeah, and like it's the thing too. It's like, yeah, we might head towards a recession. Probably not as bad up here. But it's like also that means my house value goes back down from like what it is now, which is like stupid inflated. So I don't know. It's hard to like give up like a 2% interest rate and know that you're going to like 6.3 or whatever it is right now. I know it's moving around this week, but I don't know. I mean, realistically, we're in it for the long haul yet anyway. Our kids aren't going to be out of school for another 7-8 years, or out of our house. So whatever.
And it's not like the Fargo metro area is going to decrease in population either. So
no,
the market's always going to be there.
Just the anxiety in me of like always living cheaply and well under my means, like the idea that like if I fucking one of us loses a job and we can't get something of equal or better pay quickly, like that makes me want to throw up a little. But I figure worst case we just turn to OnlyFans, you know. So
well, you got the podcast too. I mean,
it's true. I mean, we do rake in tons of money from this thing. So looking for sponsors if anyone wants to throw cash at us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's long overdue. Like we bought this house as a starter home and I didn't think we'd still be here. I think we figured out we've been here 16 years, which is kind of crazy. And, you know, we've made it work, but like we're 4 people in a 3-bedroom, small house and live partially in the garage. So it's like, having some space would be good. And this house will sell fast. I mean, starter home in a starter neighborhood, and I'm not too worried about it. Get out before anything major needs to be done. Eventually it needs a new driveway. Eventually it needs a new roof. Might need some basement work. We'll see. But it's
especially for any type of price point, you know, as a starter price point, there's just not a lot out there. So those get gobbled up pretty fast.
I just always get like amazed at like these kids that are like, well, I call them kids. They're in their 20s, I suppose. They're like building their first homes for like $550,000, and just like You're starting there? Like, really?
Yeah. Yep.
What the fuck? I don't know. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Maybe nothing will happen. I'm kind of leaning towards like if the searching doesn't work, still considering just selling this place and then just renting a townhome or a twin home for a year or two, see what happens with the market, and then it'll be easier to buy something with cash on hand anyway. Not that I think we would have to sell contingent on sale, depending on how much we go for, I guess, but we'll see. I don't know. It's nice that the market's cooled a little bit to some extent. Like some stuff still sells before it even hits the market, but other things are like hitting and then people are aiming way too high, so it sits for a while. So there's like a little bit of breathing room. But this house we looked at, like we liked it, and I told my wife, I was like, we got to talk to like a realtor because the lady we had the first time was like really honest about stuff, and like right away we took her in there, and she's like, yeah, this is a problem. Like this is, I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm like, damn it. So I think that one's off the table. I think if they were 50,000 lower, I might consider it. But I started walking around that thing, like looking at stuff, and like on the back side of the house, it's a kind of a typical house where it's got like a roof pitch and then the garage pitch is, opposite angle. And I'm looking at like how they've ran the gutters off the house, and they ran them backwards towards the peak of the garage and then ran a downspout so that it literally
Ooh.
pours onto the roof of the garage and has to run all the way down into the gutter. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's not right. Like,
Yeah.
so you start noticing these little things, and I'm like looking at some siding stuff. I was like, yeah. And then I'm looking at the roof line, and that's fucked up. And then the other thing that blew my mind was they got a new roof put on in 2024, but they left like a giant aerial antenna that I can't imagine is hooked up in the roof. Like that would have been your opportunity to like trash that thing and like roof over that. I don't know. So we'll see. I don't think that one's going to work out.
Wow.
Jill has one that she really, really wants, and I have a feeling she's going to push for us to get that one because like everything's done up pretty. It's also very expensive.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That happened to me recently. We got a new van because our old one finally like was done. There was enough problems.
Kicked it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of the wife had the heart set on certain things, and got to make them happy. So
yes,
that's how that goes. What you wanted? But yeah, it's a bit lower stakes than a house though, so not very new.
Yeah,
it's still like 15 years old, but it is a very nice van for its age.
Nice. You didn't go for like the Metallica like Hesher van, like jump out and scare kids?
Oh, that'd be nice. That could,
yeah,
haul a lot of kids around, mostly mine.
Yeah, but I'm on the cusp too of like knowing I need a new vehicle soon. I've still been taking the bike when I can to work when the weather allows it. I took it on Monday. Like I didn't even ride it. I could have rode it today and I didn't because I took it on Tuesday. It's my first day in the office this week. And no shit, in my ride to work, I almost got smoked 3 times. Like the one time I know for sure that if I had been like a kid on a bike, that kid would have been dead. And then on the way back, I almost got ran over again. So I was like, you know what? 4 times in one day is enough for a week. Like I'm not pushing my luck anymore. It's super efficient on gas. I don't know how it is on my like longevity on this planet at this point. We'll see. So, efficiency versus life expectancy, I guess, is where I'm
at. Yep. Huh.
But
then you get into, you get in more into the robot cars, and then how much do you trust them to stop for a bike and stuff like that?
That's true. Yeah, people just don't pay attention. I mean, that's the biggest thing is like people just don't look for people, pedestrians, bikes on sidewalks, and it's kind of scary. Like you really have to like ride it like you'd ride a motorcycle, right? Like assume that no one sees you ever. So that's saved me more than once, but too many close calls. Yeah. I'm gonna eat shit on that thing one day, like real hard. I know it's gonna happen. So just waiting for that. You been playing anything lately or watching anything?
Yeah, finally finished Metaphor, which
Nice.
is a long Atlas RPG. It's
How
on
many
Game
hours
Pass.
total?
Had to fit it in. I think it clocked in at 70 hours total.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No,
That
and
type of game, I guess. I mean, that's a lot, but
I don't think I did a lot of extra stuff, but at the same time, I don't know if you can. It's kind of calendar based, so you have to beat the game by this certain amount of days in the game, you know? So
sure.
I don't know how much you could actually do to extend it, or I'm sure there's ways to do it. I mean, you could grind, I suppose, on certain areas, but that was not something I was going to do. I do like in this game, and there are other games that do this, but if you get a few levels above the kind of the monsters that are in the dungeon that you're in or whatever, you can just go up and hit them, and you automatically get the points, and it says you
So you
won,
don't have to do the
did
whole
all
battle.
that. Right.
Nice.
And that in the long term, I mean, you have to grind a little bit to get above the level cap. But once you stay above that and keep that consistent,
That's nice.
you're
Values your
really
time
only
a little bit.
yeah, you're really only battling bosses at toward the end of the game, because
Sure.
they're just all the things
Kinda
that are
nice.
just
More
roaming
games should
around the
have that
dungeon.
feature, really.
Yeah. I think Earthbound does, if I remember right. That was like one of the first times that I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, yeah,
Nice.
kind of getting an extra reward out of grinding a little bit. But you would fall behind in Earthbound, where you would be like 2 dungeons later, you'd be like lower level again,
Grinding
and
it
you
out
have to
again.
grind up again,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep. Well,
So,
at least you got it
but
completed before the Game Pass purge, so. Although
right.
I haven't seen that one come up on a list yet. I'm sure it'll probably be off within the year, you'd think, though.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, but that's they kind of set me up. That said, I was preparing for the last battle, and that was like 20 hours before the end of the game. So
get your hopes
they
up.
really string you along. Yep.
Nice. I've been playing some of The Forest, which that's been out for a while. I think there's the sequel, Sons of the Forest. So I picked that up on PC because my buddy Tom will usually play Sea of Thieves with. He's had issues getting that running since the last Windows update, and well, you and I played, and you had some weird issues too with Sea of Thieves on Windows.
The controllers would not work on it.
Yeah,
every other game, but not that game. Yeah,
that session too, like wasting completely 3.5 hours being the target of like literally every ship on that server. That was one of the most defeating runs, but
and not having any muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. So I picked up The Forest and we put a few hours into that. Pretty good game. I mean, especially if you like crafting and like, survival horror, kind of that 7 days to. It's a little bit less stressful than like a 7 days to die for sure, but there's still some of those elements.
There's a lot more creepy stuff going on in it, right?
Yeah, there's some creepy stuff and like a loose story, and you got to dive into caves and cannibals, and it's nice because the survival elements aren't like too heavy. I mean, you got to eat and sleep and get water, but like it's manageable. So we've been kind of exploring that map and getting stuff unlocked, and then we've been building like a second base, and Tom is like feverishly working on this like boat cabin so we can like take it up the lake and river and stuff and like tour around. We've collected like I don't know how many trees. Had to collect like 500 fucking sticks and assemble this thing, and like we're cutting down the last few trees we need to like finish this thing off. And I am not aware that the direction you are looking is the direction trees fall as you fell them. And I also wasn't aware that this could happen in this game, but I fell a tree on top of the like 99% completed raft, and it like one hit obliterated it. Like everything, progress, hours of work gone. And I was just like, he's like, that's kind of funny. I'm like, no, it's not kind of funny. So like, yeah, I just destroyed like 2 hours worth of work in about 5 seconds. It was pretty great. But yeah, I'm liking the game so far. There's a lot of good mechanics in there. I mean, it's my kind of game. I had to switch to Xbox controls. The keyboard, I can't do keyboard that long anymore because like with the arm that I shattered snowboarding years ago, and then I think the carpal tunnel from working in an office job. Like my hands cramp up so bad with WASD stuff. Like after a couple hours, I just can't manage it anymore. So once I got that sorted, been having a good time. We'll have to dive back into that at some point. But pretty cool game. I wish I'd have tried it sooner. I've watched like a let's play, a long play of the whole thing. So I've seen, the story element start to finish, but it doesn't really diminish the, day-to-day grind. It's pretty fun. So
I think I've watched some of the sequel.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit
Sons of
too.
the Forest or whatever. Yeah.
Tom said he didn't like that one as much. I don't know what's really different. I think there's probably more build mechanics, and I know there's gliders and stuff in that one. Maybe there is in this one too. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty cool game. I mean, I probably could have caught it on a Steam sale and saved a few bucks, but it was still only like 20, so whatever.
Something
I'm sure on a rainy evening.
I'm pretty sure I've picked it up on a Steam sale because it's been like $4 or whatever all the time.
Yeah, and I thought about looking for like a key for it on like, what is it, A2G or whatever that fucking sketchy place is that has worked for me in the past, but
it has worked. But I'll say a lot of times now I have to. The bank is always like, "Are you sure this was your thing?" Like, so the payment's going to some like Eastern European country, and that key is
probably like ill-gotten for sure. So. I never feel super great about buying games in there. I've done it once or twice, but that's kind of my big new one. And then there's that Indie Direct or Indie Direct or whatever. I don't know if you caught that. It wasn't a ton in there for me, but they did have that new Yacht Club game, like Mina the Howler or Hollower or whatever. Downloaded that demo on the Switch, played through a good portion of it. That is a Yacht Club game for sure, with like a top-down Zelda type style. Some of the control mechanics, like the double jumps and stuff, I like struggle with, but I think it's gonna be good. I'll probably pick it up when it's complete.
It's interesting because they like. I haven't played it, no, but it looks interesting because it seems like they're using the exact color palette of a Game Boy Color almost.
Yeah, it is very reminiscent of that. Yeah, but like you hear like the sound design and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, like this is Yacht Club, like 100%. Like, very rock or not Shovel Knight adjacent, I guess. So I don't think I like it as much. Like it's not as straightforward as Shovel Knight was, maybe, but they've added a bunch of stuff. It's a different game, of course. So, but I
just like the idea that they've gotten away from Shovel Knight, where it's not just like a million Shovel Knight stuff, and it's like, where does one end and the other one begin, kind of.
They did kind of like get lost in the sauce of that for a while. Not that it's not a good IP, but kind of the same thing as those like Sydney Hunter games. Like I know there's like 85 versions of them, but I couldn't tell you the difference between any of them. So.
Right. I'd even forgotten they made a Shovel Knight Dig game.
Yeah,
I'm like, that
game, right?
I need to play that. Yeah.
I think there's a card game too, and like all sorts of stuff.
Well,
yeah. So those have been the two I've been sinking the most time into. And then I've been getting increasingly frustrated because I watch mostly YouTube at like the levels that YouTube is going to just make sure you watch ads. So like my thing is like I always cast from my phone to my TV, and it used to let you like load the video, would hit the intro ad, and then you would cast and would put the video on, bypass the ad. And now they don't even let you do that. They queue up the ad and make you watch the whole thing, or at least get to a skippable point before you can even cast it to your other device, which is so goddamn annoying. I know it's like a minor thing compared to like the overall picture, but it was like the last thing I had to like kind of combat that. Not a fan.
Yeah. And the fact that now it's like, it used to be, you wait 5 seconds, you could skip, and it's not even that anymore. It's like 5 seconds, and then you might be able to go to the next ad, and then you have to wait on that ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you might be able to skip that one. And and the fact that like almost always the second one is like, it's like 90 plus seconds. It's like, who is?
Yes.
I don't understand the people that are like paying for those ads. Like, why would you do that? Make a 6-second ad.
Right.
Those are going to be your most successful.
Right, because then you're not just staring at the countdown calendar or timer. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does make you like really appreciate those like very few channels though that choose to like not monetize and put ads on stuff. Because you still, I still follow a handful of them that are like that, and it's just like so refreshing. And then there's other ones that it's just like, yeah, you uploaded a 30-minute video, but you're making me watch like a 50-minute ad break every 5 minutes. Like this sucks.
Yeah.
So like I almost
And
just
some
like
of them are
fall
really
off
bad.
of channels. Yeah.
Yeah. Like every 3 minutes or something like that is just, that's too much.
Yeah. Do channel memberships at that point and just save,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Save the rest of us. So, because you're not getting, you can't be getting that much AdSense from it. I mean, if you're Mr. Beast for sure, but
yeah,
YouTube is becoming gross.
Even if you skip it, it doesn't count as a view, right? I think they only get paid for the ones that are, yeah, I don't know.
They're bastards.
We've never made anything from it, so we wouldn't know.
Yeah, and like by the time I was almost to the point where I could monetize my original channel, then they moved the goalposts like right before that, and it was just like, wow.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of when I was running out of steam anyway, so I never got to that. Because what do you need? 1,000 subscriber minimum and then 40,000 watch minutes a month or something? Forget what the numbers are.
Yeah, it was something crazy. I do appreciate that they are going to. I think they announced that they're not going to allow it to monetize anything AI generated. So, yeah, I'm catching my kids like ending up watching some stuff like that, you know, where it's just like quizzes and stuff that are just
somebody fed the algorithm and then like dumped out a video.
Right. Yeah. It's all fake stuff. And they're mispronouncing words all the time. The voice is just robotic and it's like, this is all just AI stuff. So I'm glad that's all going to be gone because who's going to make it if you don't make money on it?
Yeah, there are those channels you can totally tell that they just like found like a either Reddit post or article or blog somewhere, and then that just has text to speech and then weird images on top. And
I
don't get it. I don't get it at all. Looks like you've been watching a couple of shows also, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how we got on this topic, or how it even popped up, but we just turned on Are You Afraid of the Dark? The old 90s Nickelodeon thing.
Yep.
And it's on Paramount Plus. All of them are on there. So we started watching that, trying to get the kids into something like that. And boy, they seemed a lot more scary back when I was a kid than they do as an adult now. But
I can imagine that.
You know, a lot of them are kind of monkey's paw type, you know, just like, careful. Yeah. You know, you thought you wished for this thing and this happened and blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, it seems like everything is sorted out and nothing's a thing. And then there's some like quick stinger at the end where it's like, oh, but you know, there's one thing left or one alien left or something like that.
Sure.
So it's kind of interesting. Most of all, just reveling in the fact of 90s fashion of kids and haircuts, hairstyles, and stuff like that. And then you see like
Jinko jeans in the cast members.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some of that. A lot of weird color block t-shirts and polos and stuff like that. And it's a lot of that. And every once in a while, there's like a kid that's like, oh, I know that kid from something. Like he's something, you know?
Yeah.
And then you look it up and it's like, oh yeah, he's an actor now and he's doing all this and he's working on these movies. And then even in the last season, I think even like Ryan Gosling is on one of the episodes. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a kid.
Didn't they like, am I crazy or did they not reboot that at some point in like the early 2000s? There was like, they tried
I think
to
they
revive
did, yeah. I don't know if I wonder if yeah, I wonder about that. I'm pretty sure they did. Now that you say that,
yeah, I thought I saw. I never saw that run, but I swear I remember them reviving it to some extent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it was always a cool
And it,
show. Like very Goosebumps-ish, that sort of vein.
yep. And of course, it was a Canadian show that they just bought from whatever station in Canada that was producing it. So the accents and stuff are very Canadian, and
Sure.
I love it.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Speaking of this, I didn't have this as a topic, but speaking of streaming platforms, did you see that they officially announced that Disney and Hulu is going to merge to one app, and they're just going to shut down Hulu, which I'm super excited about because I assume that means I'm going to save at least a couple bucks a month. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
that's
at
what
least
I'm
means I have
wondering
one
too.
less app to sign into, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. Like, how does that work on the billing side, right?
They'll probably just say like, no, you're getting a 2 first, so your pricing stays the
Yeah.
same. Which I mean, what is the combo? Like $7.99 a month with ads? Like it's not that bad, but
No.
I'm kind of happy
Yeah,
about it because like by the time they like did the partial merger and just like blended libraries anyway, it was like, well, what was the point of continuing to watch on Hulu or Disney? Wherever you started it,
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing I was thinking about that, well, I'll go to my next topic, but the Hulu branding,
Yeah.
like, do they just get rid of that then? Or is it still like a section of that?
Yeah, that's a good point. And my thought too
Because even
was
in
like,
Disney, it's like FX, FX is kind of
yeah,
their brand in there too. So it's like, what layers of brands are they going to have?
I guess I don't know numbers, but doesn't it seem like Hulu carries more weight than Disney Plus? Like from a streaming platform perspective, like it's been around longer, it's pretty well established. Like maybe not.
I think for the money to buy the content, and they're using the content to fund what you're getting, probably better. I think just the sheer amount of people that is like, I have kids, so of course I'm just going to pay a monthly Disney fee is pretty substantial, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think I've heard like how much hours of like streaming that Bluey has gotten over the years, and it's just like an insane amount, right?
Sure.
So I'm guessing that's
Disney
a lot of that
on there being in the vault, and yeah. I'm glad it's going on at least one app. Like that's my thing. Is like one less thing. Like why do I need both of these things on my TV? So
right, yep. But the Hulu's most recent edition was the 14th season of King of the Hill. And
can I just say one thing before you get into this?
Yeah.
Why? I hate that show. I hate that show. So I know people
really
love it.
Oh my gosh.
Hate it. How is it? You enjoying it?
Oh, I don't know if I enjoy it, but the more we've watched quite a bit of it before this, before the new season, and I think, I mean, as younger, it was always Family Guy and Simpsons and stuff like that was, King of the Hill was kind of whatever. But as an adult, I think I appreciate King of the Hill way more because the characters are way more complex, even though when you think of it as it's just like, oh, propane and whatever, but it's a lot more to it. I mean, there's definitely a lot more going on in each episode, and very character based, where something like Family Guy is just so one note and one dimensional that King of the Hill, I think, really gives it an edge, and it gives it a time and place and location for sure, Texas, but
yeah.
And I think that's, I don't know, I don't think they needed to bring it back, but for how kind of down home and goody Hank Hill and Peggy Hill were even then, to bring them into today's world and then have them react to different things is like, okay, it's pretty funny.
So what is like the premise? Like I saw the trailers, like they're moving back. Like where did they go? Like I assume they're retired now.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen the actual ending of how it was before, but apparently they were like in Saudi Arabia working for a propane company or something, and just living the high life. So
Okay.
yeah, now they move back, and Bobby is an adult, and he runs a Japanese restaurant.
Is he married
Literally,
to Connie?
no, they're. I think that's what the arc of this season is going to be: is them kind of reconnecting.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Um, I've only seen the first few episodes. One of which is, Bobby uses charcoal at the restaurant, and Hank Hill has nothing to do with that because it's not propane. But things turn around, of course, at the end, you know.
Right.
Um, I think one of the things that I'm enjoying the most, maybe, is Dale Gribble. Is the fact that he was such a conspiracy theorist back in the original show,
Mm-hmm.
that character, he's still the same character, although the voice actor is
I was gonna
terrible.
say his
I think
voice actor died. Yeah.
yeah, the new voice actor is not very good, and maybe it's just you can't live up to the same thing that you've heard over the millions of, how many times you've seen it. But the fact that, QAnon and everything is such a thing now, that Dale Gribble is almost like the normalized, like popular popular
He's
guy.
got like a podcast now, and he's like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty funny. But
Nice. I will probably not watch that, but I know a lot of people are excited about it. I've been getting back into South Park because those first 2 episodes of the season were fucking hilarious.
yeah.
Did
See,
you watch any of those?
I've heard they've been excellent, and not pulling punches at all as far as
No.
like
That second one was so good. Every time they had like Christine Noem on screen, she would just like pull out a gun, like murder every dog inside. Like every scene she was in, she was just like shooting dogs. So fucking funny. Yeah, I love it. We'll see how that continues. They clearly give zero shits because they got their payout from Paramount, and I don't know that those guys even care if they stay on the air anymore.
yeah.
I mean, it's been 27 seasons, so
I think that's the most amazing part, is that Colbert is getting canceled, his late night show, and the big thing as well, he's been critical of Trump and all this, and Paramount had their whole merger deal and all that stuff pay out to him, and then Paramount just gives billions of dollars to
right to the guys who
South
are
Park
obviously
guys.
going to do this. Yeah, of course they were going to do this. Yeah, so funny. It's all fun and games until he militarizes all the police precincts in the country and then like executes people, putting out. I mean, I don't know. Very authoritarian move happening in DC for sure. It's pretty wild, or pretty great depending on who you are. I guess I don't know. Insane to me, but what do I know? Yeah,
who knows what's going on there.
So did they drop like the full season then on Hank?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's 10 episodes because that's what a full season is nowadays. But I think that's enough to. It is weird that I think it's because of the content, and it's still very much rooted in the same type of storytelling that King of the Hill does, that it seems very slow. Like a half-hour show is like, it feels like almost an hour-long show, whereas a lot of those animated shows feel like 15 minutes,
Well, yeah, because like it actually tells a fucking story where,
right.
Like, I mean, Family Guy for sure is just like joke vomit. Like,
yeah,
are they even still making Family Guy? I haven't watched that in
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I saw something about like how many years Bob's Burgers has been on, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking old. Like,
yeah, I feel like I fell off of that like even before it hit season 10, but it was a consistently good show. It's just like when you got to the point where like you cut the cord and you weren't watching it like every week, like I just kind of, that's where I lost a lot of shows, and I just haven't gone back to them with streaming. So plus that Bob's Burger movie was not the greatest thing either. So it kind of put me off. But yeah, that's another good one I should probably dust off. That's probably on Paramount too. Or is that no? That's
That's on
Fox. So it'd be
Hulu,
on
probably.
Hulu and Disney now. Yeah,
That's my
that's another
guess,
good
anyway.
show with
Yeah,
like actual story arcs and like characters with some depth.
real characters. Yeah.
Yeah. What else do I have on here? I gotta see. Oh, okay, yeah. So that Drag X Drive game that comes out, I think, on the 14th. We're recording on the 13th, so it's not officially out yet. But they pushed out like a open like beta demo thing. Did you check that out at all?
No, what? I'm having trouble remembering what this is.
It's Nintendo's like tech demo that they like launched with they were demoing during the Switch 2 rollout, and it's like the wheelchair basketball
Oh,
just to like
that.
use their
Yeah.
mouse
Yeah.
controls. And like I couldn't even get through like the demo of it because it wasn't registering. Like you need to do like obviously you're sliding this thing like on your legs. I guess you could do it on a table. I can't imagine playing it on a table. Like sliding it on the sides of your legs definitely feels like the way to go. But then you also have to do like some like braking motions with like the Z L and ZR triggers, and like it would not register the input of one of my triggers at all, to the point where like I was going in and like testing my Joy-Con controller in the system settings, and like perfectly fine, works well with everything else, but like that game just would not pick it up. So I didn't even get into like I assume I'd have been able to do a match at least against AI at some point, but
Huh.
it frustrated me to that point where I was just like, well, this is if this is this jank this close to launch, like I don't even want to really get into it. And apparently, like it's going to be digitally only and $20, and I just don't see anyone. I don't see a community rallying around this. This feels like another one of those things where like maybe Nintendo should have just pushed this out there, just like the welcome tour. Like,
Yeah.
these are tech demos, right? Like these are not like I don't know. It feels weird. And I was reading one review because I was curious, and they were like talking how it's so funny that it's basically like a handicapped basketball league, but then like it relies solely on these like very specific motion controls, and there's no like alternatives like to help people with disabilities play this game. So I was like, yeah, that is kind of ironic. And everything I've read on it, like reviews are like mid, right? People are like, if you sink the time into it, like learn the controls and get good, like you'll have fun, but probably not a lot of meat on the bone there. So I think the demo will be the extent of my time with that, unless it becomes like fire sale on some Switch deal at some point. But
yeah, that to me that screamed like almost like a when ARMS came out, where it's like you took one idea way too seriously and way too far to make it a whole product.
Yeah, ARMS was pretty tough to justify the price on. I think this will be too. It just like even the art style doesn't feel very Nintendo-ish. It's very like cold and like dark tones, and I don't know. I mean, to show that the Joy-Cons work good in mouse mode, like it does that, like fine, but again, like just make it a pack-in. What are we doing, Nintendo? I don't know. Have you had any more time with DK, or are you just waiting on that because you got through Metaphor?
Yeah, I am at like 120 bananas, so
nice.
Definitely getting into it. Started a new save, my own save. Catching up to my son already. He's probably twice as far in the game, but I have almost as many as bananas as him. So
nice.
I'm definitely scouring and collecting a lot. I'm finding myself really drawn. Like I'm not looking to move on all the time. Like I'm ready to hit every puzzle and find every banana. It's been pretty great.
Yeah, I think I was like that through the majority of that game too. Maybe like the 80% mark is where I was just like, well, I just want to see this thing through now. And then it turned out there's way more game to it than I thought. But yeah, such a good gameplay like loop on that. Always satisfying. Like there's always something to keep you busy.
Yep. Yeah, the sonar, I think it really helps with that.
Yeah.
Finding running around and seeing the one thing, and then banana catches your eye, and sometimes it's as easy as just pounding through the ground just to get to it.
Yep.
Other times it's like, well, this is what I'm doing now. I'm figuring out how to get to that banana, right?
What level are you on, and like how many bonanza forms do you have?
I'm on the third one, so like the Canyon Rails level,
Okay. Yep.
and then just the one form so far.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty. I mean, it constantly throws new stuff in your face, which I think is great. Like start to finish, like just when you think you've
mhm.
kind of seen it all. Like some of those late game stages are pretty insane.
Hmm.
But I've heard it's worth
Yeah.
going back into and doing the new game plus stuff more from a few people. So at some point I'll dust it off, or maybe like I guess we're kind of coming up on a drought, right? Like I guess we have Drag X Drive and we've got that Forgotten Worlds Kirby upgrade thing, which I'll probably buy the upgrade pack for it, not the full game. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
never played it, so I'll probably do that
it's
too.
yeah, that's such a good game. You'll love it. Did you buy it on Switch or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My son has it. He played through it,
yeah,
but yeah, I
that's what
never
I
got
need to go
around to
back
it.
to. Yeah, I think that'll be good. But yeah, I think there will be a drought, so I might as well go back into DK because I'm just so far off of what Mario Kart World is at this point that I don't know that I'm dusting that thing back off. I got through it as much as I could.
Yeah. I'm still on the side of like 8. Like
Yeah,
I'd rather go back and play 8 than World. I was
yeah,
really disappointed with World.
yeah. I kind of feel the same way. Like, just didn't. I mean, there's some. I like the open world stuff, but that's not enough for me to. And I don't find the racing as satisfying, like at all. So,
Yep.
and not to say it's not very good. It's a great game, but I agree with you. I think what 8 became by the end was pretty impossible to top.
Right. Yeah, especially if you have all the courses, and yeah, that's incredible.
I also wonder if like Nintendo's working secretly on another Smash of some sort, or like a Smash Deluxe. I mean, obviously, the Smash we have now has spanned 3 generations of their platforms, but I still can't get enough of it. It's still a great game.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do something. You can't just not have another Smash Brothers, but I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I
Do
think
you scale it
4K and
back
like
again?
yeah, I think 4K and like locked like 60 plus frame rate would be enough for me to like, okay, I'll buy it again. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't take much for
Yeah,
me. You wouldn't really have to twist my arm.
I think like a really good single player, like would be really cool.
Bring back like
Um,
that weird thing from like Melee or Brawl.
yeah,
Brawl had that weird
yeah,
stuff where you're doing like the single
like the
player.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Which that's the one I put probably the least amount of time into between Melee and Ultimate, but still
Mhm.
good.
I like the Brawl thing because well, you just got the cutscenes of like Snake and like all these other characters. It's like, communicating with each other,
Yeah.
interacting. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
The future of the Switch, we need some more confirmed dates for some of these games. We need a confirmed date for Prime. Like I think that's the stuff that's really going to get people excited.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of we think it's coming. But,
Yeah, they need
you know,
some good Christmas stuff, I think, too.
yeah, I'm sure they're working on it. Like if they front loaded it to the extent they have now, there's probably some bangers that are going to get out. And I mean, obviously, I think Prime will be the big holiday showpiece, but we'll see.
Yeah, because I think they've reached the point where you can sell a console just on the console alone. They've they gotta
Yeah, they
have
did
some
that.
other selling points now.
They've reached that market. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Are we on to staff picks already?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man, we're flying through the show today. I'll
Yeah,
let you go
I can do
first. 'Cause I'm not
mine.
sure what this is.
This is I dusted off the Quest 3 every once in a while. Well, once a month we bought a year subscription to the Quest Horizon Plus or whatever, so you have to go in and get your free games or whatever.
Sure.
And then they kind of have a Game Pass selection that they revolve things around, and one of them was called Pixel Ripped 1995, and I remember this. There was a 89, I think, or 91 or something, quite a few years ago, early on in VR, and I always wanted to play that one. It was like you were playing a Game Boy in class, and everything around you, like the teacher was trying to get your attention and everything, and you had to
Okay.
like distract the teacher and try and hide that you were playing this Game Boy, right? And this is very much like that, only it's a Super Nintendo, and 16-bit era. I haven't played too much of it, but yeah, the first level is like your mom yelling at you to get off the Super Nintendo at home.
Sure.
And every time she comes over to try and turn the thing off, you just grab your Nerf gun and just shoot like the cookie jar off the thing, and you know.
Nice.
So it's kind of like multitasking,
playing
where
a game
you're
within a game,
playing the
pretty
game,
much.
which is like a Zelda. Yeah, you're playing the Zelda game, but then you also have to look around your surroundings and do different things in there.
That's good. Cool idea.
And the second level that I'm on now is like you are at a Blockbuster, and there's like a Super Nintendo and a Genesis kiosk
Like the
right
kiosk?
next to each other.
That's so cool.
And you transfer between both games. So like the character, you just switch between the kiosks to get different keys and go to the other kiosk, and it's pretty good.
Nice. Are they actually called like a Super Nintendo and a Genesis, or is it like a weird in-game?
No, there are some, I forget whatever it's called. I think the Sega was a Turbo Drive. If I remember right, yeah. But
that sounds awesome. Wonder if that one's on the old one. I'll have to check. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it should be on any Quest, I would imagine. And I noticed they have a new one out, and it's licensed by Atari. It's Pixel Ripped 1978 or something like that.
Okay.
And it's like playing real Atari games. It looks like you're like you're a beta tester at Atari. So you're in like the Atari offices and playing these Atari games, which would be interesting.
So same concept. You're just like trying to like shoo off coworkers and stuff. And
yep. You have to take a hit of cocaine every once in a while, you know.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds really cool. I'll have to maybe look into that one, see if I can't try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was I'm gonna unlock my screen so I can even see it. But Look Well, which I think we've talked about on the show. I'm a big like Conan O'Brien fan, and I was watching Look Well because I didn't even realize he'd done this, but like so in 1991 during you know, the TV era when they would do like pilot season and stuff. Apparently, like Robert Schmeigel and Conan O'Brien co-wrote this thing, and it was executive produced by Lorne Michaels.
Oh, this thing, yes.
Yes. And so basically, like the premise of this show was they like the whole idea, I guess it came from Robert Schmeigel, where it was like, what if Adam West was just like Adam West, who was like a former TV detective, like kind of playing off his Batman role, but he just like thinks he can still solve crimes because he was an actor at one point. And there's this 30-minute pilot that you can watch on YouTube now. It's so fucking funny because like it's just Adam West being Adam West and like completely in his own world, and just like, yeah, well, I played a detective for many years, and he's like always jumping to conclusions, like trying to solve this like car theft ring thing, and like always wrong. He's like completely wrong every step of the way, and then it just ends the episode with him like inadvertently also solving the crime by like completely fucking up the police investigation. Like it just works out. It's so fucking funny though, and like they don't have a laugh track or anything. It's like a single camera show, but my god, like I wish that had been picked up. Like it is such a gold mine for comedy, and like way ahead of its time for 1991. But yeah.
Oh yeah, especially before, you know, Adam West kind of started doing that thing on everything else. You know, obviously Family Guy was a big one, but he was getting that type of like doing the Batman thing seriously or something would be, yeah, that would have been amazing to see.
There's so many good one-liners too, and I laughed out loud so many times. There's like, you know, they do like he gets like, he teaches an acting school, obviously because he's a washed-up actor, so he's not getting gigs anymore. Like he convinces all his students to like help him do like undercover things and stuff, and then they spent the day at like the track race or something and couldn't get in, and then he goes back to the police chief, and it all ends up being a dead end. Is like his buddy from his student from his acting class is like, you mean we wasted all that time? And Adam's just like, we didn't waste time. Time wastes you. And then they just kind of like looks at the camera like, what? Just like so good, like so many good stupid one lines.
Yeah.
I really would have loved to have seen it get picked up. I guess Adam West was like very into it too. Like he thought it was just great. And
That would have been amazing. But yeah, Adam West does really good in that type of role where it's just completely serious. He's not even in on the joke really.
Yeah. It was great. It's definitely like you see all the foundational stuff of like the Schmeigel and O'Brien, like early late show era, like gags and bits and humor. Like it's all that sensibility. So
because he was the Triumph guy, right?
Yeah, I think he did Triumph. Yep.
Yeah.
But would love to see more of that. But it's still like for what it is. Like I highly recommend everyone watch through it at least once. It's just there's so many like good quotable lines in there.
If you're having a good time with us at Weekend Rental, I think you might enjoy all the great geeky stuff found on the Geekade Podcast Network. They've got podcasts about games, music, movies, and more. Plus, if you order off their secret menu, also known as the Geekade Patreon, you just might find an exclusive movie podcast hosted by Ryan and myself. Check it out over at geekade.com. And hey, if you'd like to turn Weekend Rental into a true multimedia experience, our YouTube and Twitch channels might just be for you.
I guess that already brings us flying through the show today to the Weekend Rental. And the Weekend Rental, of course, we pick a game for a given system, play it through as much as we can, and then we decide whether we'd personally buy, rent, or burn that game. We're working with my favorite, the N64, the Japanese exclusive, although it's been available in the US since the WiiWare days, and that's Sin and Punishment. Which I think I actually bought this for the WiiWare off the WiiWare store like back in the day too. But now it's on the Switch Online, pretty accessible. And I think the easiest way to describe this is almost like a Panzer Dragoon or like maybe like a 3D rendering of like a Space Harrier is kind of how this plays out.
Yeah.
Weird control scheme.
Yeah, the reticle is separate from your movement, so it's a lot of it's almost like controlling two windows at the same time. It's really weird.
Yes, because you have to move around things in the fore and background and then still continue to shoot and gun, and you're on rails. Like you're just running when you're running. It stops when the scene calls for it.
Yeah.
But it's the story, like I didn't get far enough to piece it all together. It's pretty trippy though. It's like some evil black magic entity and you're up against it. Like I don't know, it's very Japanese.
Yeah, it definitely feels like those really high concept anime type things where it's just like you lost me. I think you did this on purpose to make it seem really cool.
Yeah.
But it's above my head of what's going on right now.
It works from an aesthetic point of view though. Like it really has like a certain gritty, dark art style and like anime-esque vibe. So in game it works great, but yeah, I agree. Like the story, I was just like, what is this? Even though like all the text is in Japanese, but it's English dubbed, so it's easy to follow along, I guess. But I still had no clue what was going on.
Yep. Yeah, they're and I'm sure some of that is like it's not like the PlayStation where you can have unlimited amount of voice on a disc. So I'm sure they were like editing this stuff down pretty heavily to somewhat try and make a coherent story out of this. But
yeah, and it is like now that you say that, it's pretty cutscene heavy for what the 64 game is. Like there's cutscenes mid-level, there's cutscenes after each level. Very arcadey feeling. In the sense that like, you've got one life, one run. I mean, you can continue and stuff, but it almost feels like that sort of arcade era high score challenge and like learn patterns. It again, that Space Harrier reference where it's kind of like that shooter sort of mentality, right? Like
Yeah.
it's as much about learning the level and the weak spots and where to be as it is about anything else. So it feels like a
Oh yeah.
shooter almost in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I fell off of it is um there was certain bosses where they're very much like you just got to do the thing that you're supposed to do here. It's the only way you're
Mm-hmm.
going to win. You know, you can't brute force it. You can't just kind of win it your own way.
Yeah.
And there was one that I must have just been doing it wrong. I don't know. I just ran out of time, which is another thing is they're timed.
Yes,
It's
the
what are
timing.
we doing here?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and there's so much like learning the ticks and patterns. It's like, well, you're never gonna know. Like, so you're gonna take that hit every time the first time through, right? So it's kind of
yeah.
frustrating in that sense. I will say it's at least on the default easy mode, pretty generous with continues. You might get like a dozen, I think. Um,
Oh yeah. Yep.
but I think it was like the best for me when it was just like letting me play the game and like push through it. And where it starts to like lose me is those, like you said, those boss battles where it's just like they require such specific things. Like there's very little margin of error, especially with the clock. And like
Yep.
that's when it very quickly, in my opinion, tips the line from like fun to just like very frustrating. And I don't know how long of a game it is, so I'm guessing some of that is like padding to like, get you to just continue to play through to, get a good run, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It
I looked it up
sucked.
and it's like a 2 hour game. So it's
Yeah, so
definitely
that sounds right.
trying to add some difficulty to it to make you win or to pad it out. This is made by Treasure,
That
which, you know,
sounds right. That tracks.
Gunstar Heroes, all those type of games. So
Yeah.
they were definitely like, you're gonna have to get good at our games, you know.
Yeah.
So I think this is part of that.
Yeah, that makes sense now that you
Um,
say that. I think
but
the
it
hardest
was
one.
published by Nintendo or you know, so
Yeah.
it's yeah, kind
And
of
it's
an
one of those things
interesting.
like we were talking, like it's weird because it was already English dubbed that they never bothered to just port it over because like it probably wouldn't have taken much to localize. I mean, I
Mhm.
think it was a fairly late in the library games. Maybe they just didn't see the numbers, and I don't know that it would have done. It probably would have been one of the more expensive games in the 64 if I had to guess,
Mhm.
because I don't think it would have sold as a non like known IP. Like new IPs from Nintendo on the 64 was not really a thing that you know happened.
Yeah. Well, they
I
tried
just
a sequel on the Wii, and I don't think that sold very well either. But
no, and I do own that one, and I've tried to get into that one as well, and I still just I it's just it's a lot to manage, like, and the control scheme, like we've talked about. I mean, I can't imagine on a 64 controller what it was like. It's just like it's so many things to manage on screen. I feel like it's almost as much of a game about like trying to deal with their control scheme as it is the
yeah,
game itself, which makes it frustrating.
it's kind of weird because, you know, first person shooter or even third person, you know, dual stick shooter, you've gained the muscle memory for it
Yes.
that you understand 3D space and moving and in the reticle, and it's not a problem at all. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, having the reticle flying around on one stick and then just having just a 2D plane of just going back and forth completely messed me up. It should be
Yeah.
much easier than a 3D shooter, but
I agree. I couldn't wrap my head
it was
around
not.
it.
Yep, it's weird.
And also, like, I don't understand. Like, sometimes the reticle is like really good about locking on and staying on target for you. Like, once you pointed it at the spot you wanted, but
Yeah,
other times, like that functionality is just not there. Maybe by choice in the game, but yeah, it was very easy to overcorrect when you had a lock on, and I don't know. I didn't see much evolution either in the gameplay as far as like weapons. Like, it would have been cool to see
hmm
more. Like, I think of like one that kind of similar to this to some extent, that game called One on the PlayStation, where at least you could power up your gun. So like you had the risk reward of like, if I do a pretty flawless run, I'm gonna be like OP by the time the boss comes in. But like there isn't any of that, and I would have liked to have seen some of that. You get power
or
ups, but it's not like great.
no, and all of that is life and points, isn't it?
I think so.
From what I or some bonus stuff maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there's nothing that's upgrading your guns or better, like an invincibility period or anything like that, which I think it could have really benefited.
Yeah, I agree. There's also like some really odd choices with like character design. Like I think that like second stage boss early on that he just like throws like flat sprite at you and like in a 3D space, and like it just looks like he's like whipping paper mache dolls across the screen for some reason. It's a choice.
Yep. And they definitely anime inspired as far as like hairstyles and stuff like that. They're very much
it reminded me a lot, like especially that like first main protagonist guy. It reminded me of like a dark, like, is it not Cloud? Who's the guy from Kingdom Hearts games? It looked like that.
Sora. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It does kind of look like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got very like early 2000s vibes out of that. But I think that was my favorite part, was just like the whole aesthetic. Like I like the aesthetic of the game. I just wish I enjoyed playing it more because that's where it lost me.
And I really enjoyed the first few levels, but once it got more into the movement and dodging of the character itself, as well as shooting, that's where it fell apart. And maybe that's just comes with time. You get more used to the game and controls, but I like shooters where you can figure it out, or you can just win your own way, or just kind of get through it, just by whatever. Not like, oh, you have to do it this way, and this is the one spot that you have to be. And this game has a weird thing where and maybe it's not like this on the 64 controller, but what the button is to shoot, so you hold the button down to shoot, but if you hold it down quickly, it does like a sword attack or some sort of like slash.
That took me forever to figure out.
Yeah. And having that on the same button felt weird. And maybe that's just a Switch thing. I don't know. And I can't imagine playing this on Nintendo D-pad or a control stick. This would be, oh my gosh, it would be bad.
Yeah. Especially with as loose as those things all got. Like, you just like, it'd be a disaster. Yeah. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, but like in my past experience with this game too, I fell off about the same point I did in this playthrough. And I really tried to get through, but it's just like I can only like beat my head against the wall so many times, and some of the points I was sticking on to like, I just got to put it down.
Yeah. And the previous boss that I gave up on one boss, and the previous boss was kind of brute forced through just losing a lot of health,
Well, and it was never like super clear in the game too. Well, again, trial by error. It's like what you could evade by like a roll and what you could evade by a jump, and like so figuring that out too. Just like it took me a while to figure out I could like quick dash and roll off to the side. Like I played probably the first 30 minutes without knowing that was an option, which would have been nice. But
boy, I don't think I did. I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, and that's how I got through some of the sections I did, because I was like, why is my jump timing like not working? Like I was getting hit, and then I figured that out and it helped. But
yeah, that would have been nice to know, because there were certain spots where it's just like, I guess I have to take a hit here, because I'm not figuring out. I don't know how you're supposed to do this.
Well, and some of those boss hits too, it's like not only does the knockdown suck, but like some of those hits are like half your life bar. Like, you can't afford to you can't afford to not be good at the game. Like, like you said, it requires you, like a shooter, like a treasure game, to get good at it, memorize, which they make games like that for a reason, but those aren't fun for me most of the time.
Yep.
So what do you think you'd give it on the Byron Burn scale then?
Boy, I'm almost leaning a burn, but I don't think I can go quite that low, because I think the first few levels, it's pretty fun. And for something like that to be on the Nintendo 64 is pretty neat.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think I'm going to go Rent. I nowhere near a buy on this, because it's just like, it's not my type of style of game. I mean, Treasure, I don't think has made a game that I absolutely adore, like
Sure.
many other people love. But
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Gunstar Heroes fan, but even then, I'm not like crazy about it like some people. I would say the same thing. I think this deserves like a rent because it's such a unique game in that library, and it's well done for what it is. Everybody should give it a shot. I just I can't give it a buy. And it's not inherently a bad enough game. Like there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. Like it just makes choices that make it the game it is, and that makes it a game that I'm probably not gonna revisit often. But
yeah.
I liked it. I like checking it out again, and it emulates and renders well on the Switch too, which is nice. So
Mm-hmm.
and having a rewind feature very handy.
Oh yeah. It's cool that Nintendo brings it out too, to be like, hey, this is something we messed up and didn't bring over before.
Yeah.
So here you go.
For sure. Well, and I heard we're getting what is it? Chibi Robo is finally coming to the GameCube section of that, which that'll be cool to revisit for anyone who doesn't want to emulate another way or pay a few $100s for a copy. So.
Right.
But
and then they'll maybe make a third Chibi Robo game.
Yeah, maybe they've let it sit idle since the 3DS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose though that brings us to the close of a pretty short episode here, but
yeah. So you can find us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. That's probably the best way to contact us. And we have a podcast about certain movies that we do once a month. That's only on the Patreon, Geekade's Patreon, that is. We did K-pop Demon Hunters last month. I'm not sure we have next one picked yet, but that'll be coming up before you know it, I guess. Summer's already over, but I think that's going to do it. So until next time, be kind, rewind.
Bananas.
Yeah, I can't hear bananas anymore without
bananas.
Banana,
He's ruined it.
They took our shtick, yeah.